Fox 61, the Connecticut Office of the Arts, and the Connecticut Department of Education have partnered on the Connecticut Creative Futures.
Our state has all sorts of incredible artistic talent across a variety of disciplines. With us now, poet Lynnette Johnson. She studied theater art at Morgan State University in Baltimore, then earned a liberal arts bachelor's degree from Bay Path University right over the state line in Longmeadow, Massachusetts. Good morning. How are you today?
Good morning. Happy Friday. Happy April 1st. Happy Poetry Writing Month. I'm great today.
That is good to hear. Okay, yeah, let's start by talking about your poetry. Our understanding that the common theme seems to be about love. I mean, you agree with that? If not, tell us about the things that inspire you and why you choose to write about love.
Absolutely. I do consider myself a love poet, and more than just romantic love, but everything that I care about, from family to justice to just being myself and connecting to the world. I feel like what inspires me are the people, events in my life, things I see, that I witness, my own experiences, and any opportunity to celebrate love and to celebrate the beauty in the world.
Love that. Now, for those out there who are not familiar with, spoken word events, try to describe what that's like.
Okay, absolutely. So spoken word is performance poetry. So poetry, it can be literary, it's something you read, but spoken word combines acting and theatrics with the written word. So it's really a rich experience. You get to hear basically people telling stories, usually their own, and sometimes it rhymes, sometimes it's musical, it's always rhythmic. And when it's live, it becomes like a conversation with the poet and the audience. So a lot of fun.
I always want to ask people who do poetry or spoken word. Obviously, words are your medium. Words are my medium as well, but by the nature of my job, I have to be very literal. And I think I would be awful at trying to write poetry or spoken word because there seems to be an abstract element to it that I don't get. What would be your advice to somebody who's trying to learn how to write in that style?
Well, I think you made such a good point that what I love most about poetry are there aren't really any rules. It's almost like anything that's not prose. And so you can write very literal poems. Like when you think of The Cat in the Hat, like Dr. Seuss, like those poems are very rhythmic. They're pretty direct. You don't have to dig deep to get to the point. So I think it depends on your style. So I would tell no one to just be discouraged if they feel like their style doesn't match some of the styles that I've heard, but just to try it and to see if you can create a message the way you do it.
Okay.
Now, one of your inspirations, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., right?
Absolutely.
So how has he inspired your work?
Absolutely. I mean, Dr. King has inspired everyone. I think one of his quotes inspired the title of my book of love poems, and it's Only Love Can Do That. And so the full quote is, darkness cannot drive out darkness, only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate, only love can do that. And it really speaks to the power of being loving, and that it's an exercise and a commitment. And so the book is just a focus on love. And I think that kind of puts the onus on the work we can do when we're trying to change things. And sometimes we try to meet fire for fire, and maybe that makes sense in some instances. But sometimes grace and patience and curiosity makes it easier to meet people where they are. And so poetry is one of the ways we can do that.
Lynnette, wonderfully spoken. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us today, just to give us a little bit of an insight into how you do what you do, and you do it so well.